Good morning, team. Now, if you want to get fit fast in the most efficient, effective way, you need functional movements, you need to change it up so that your body's not getting stagnant, and you need intensity. That's what we do here every morning. We've got a changing workout so that your body keeps getting better fast. Today we've got Sandbag Cleans and ring support, and then a clean and jerk complex. But don't worry, I've got scaling options for any fitness level, any level experience. What are you waiting for? Let's go. First thing, we gotta prime our minds. We're gonna choose our first thoughts of the day as opposed to just chasing default stimuli like everybody else. So what this looks like is you're gonna find yourself a little bit of space where you can sit down. You can put your feet underneath your hips and come to a passive squat position. So we're not working here, we're just relaxed. If you feel like you're gonna fall backwards, you can hold on to a counterbalance out in front of you. And while we're here for about 2 minutes, we're gonna start with a little bit of breath work and a little bit of mental reps. So we're gonna go 4-second inhale, 4-second pause at the top, 4-second exhale, and then a 4-second pause at the bottom for about 4 rounds. So let's slow the breathing. And we'll go inhale, hold, exhale, hold. I am responsible. Inhale, hold, exhale, hold. I will make time between stimulus and response. Inhale, hold, exhale, hold. I have all I need to succeed today and will focus on progress over perfection. Inhale, hold, exhale, hold. I choose gratitude. And inhale. All right, dog's ready. Dog's up. Next, we're gonna start moving the body here. So we've got our get up out of bed, but now it's time to get up off the floor. Start moving the body a little bit. We're gonna go just 2 minutes here of getting down on the ground and getting back up. An essential piece of functional movement that we call a burpee, but it is just your ability to get back up off the ground. Seems pretty important. Oftentimes you'll actually see on the internet versions of burpees that don't go to the floor. You know, people come down and then they get some push-ups in and then they get back up, but they never actually got to the floor. So we want to make sure that if we're building capacity to get up off the floor, that we're getting up off the floor. So make sure you're taking yourself all the way down and then celebrating because you can do it. So we're gonna go another minute 20 here, just getting down, getting up, maybe starting to speed it up as you go, getting from, a slow, maybe walk down, walk up, and working your way to a little bit faster, just depending on how you're feeling this morning. And as I was saying, if you want to, Maple, if you really want to get fit, you want to be changing up what you're doing, right? Not doing the same workout every day. You want to make sure that you're using functional movements, those that are innate to our humanity, we use in real life, and those that are innate in their ability to produce power, but we don't need to get into that too much. And you need intensity. So you need to make sure that you're working for more work in less time. And with those three components, you will find fitness far faster than any other way of training. And you'll develop real world functional capacity, maple, that carries over into real life. All right. Maple's already destroying things this morning. So next step, we're just going to get into our warm-up on the screen there. Good morning, Talia. Good morning, Jody. Good morning, Megan. Good morning, Vicky. Good morning, Yaroslav. And we're just going to start off with our knee raises, starting to turn on the hip flexors. Hopefully you guys are looking forward to some ring supports today, or if you don't have rings, you can use chairs or tables or books or anything, dumbbells, and some sandbag cleans. And then our opportunity work today, we're going to get in some technique in the form of a clean and jerk complex. So settle in, let's turn on the body, and then get ready to hit that hard today. All right, next warm-up movement, we're going to get into a good morning. So you can just put the feet underneath the hips, and then send the hips back. Looking for some hamstring tension at the bottom, nice neutral spine, and then when you stand, you can squeeze the butt, fully extend the hips. So hips back, finding hamstring tension, standing, squeezing the butt. And we'll get another 3 or 4 there. Maple, why do you need to do that? And then from there, we'll go to our single leg. So just go ahead and stand on one foot. And then from there, I like to drop and raise the non-standing hip. Just starting to turn on the little muscles in the outside of the hip here. Maybe 10 cycles there. Lower and raise, lower and raise. And then once you've got about 10, we'll switch sides. Same thing on the other leg. Working on the balance. Working on turning on that hip. How's everybody feeling this morning? Any soreness? Any tension? Noticed my legs yesterday were pretty sore. And I'm feeling some bicep tenderness. Okay, let's go with a reverse lunge from there. So you're gonna take a nice long step back. Let the back knee kiss the ground. Trying to maintain a nice vertical shin in front. So a long enough step back that we're not ending up way out in front like that. I think I'm feeling tension from the Zerchers the other day. That bicep feeling that I'm feeling, I think, is from that. It just means we probably need to do those more often. Okay, a few more lunges, and then we'll get down for our T-spine rotations. Should be starting to feel the temperature in the body turn up a little bit. Okay, so from there, we'll just get on all fours, and we're gonna go with a thread the needle T-spine rotation here. So you're gonna take one hand off the ground, slide it in between the other hand and your knees. If you can take your shoulder to the floor, that's awesome, and then reach the hand to the ceiling, and we'll cycle through that. So shoulder to the floor, hand to the ceiling, get at least 5 there. Trying to increase the range at the bottom of the twist and the range at the top. Do one more here, and then we'll switch sides. Oh yeah, should feel pretty nice to get that twist at the bottom. Get 2 more. And then we'll get up for some air squats. Go ahead and hop up, put the feet underneath the shoulders, and just think hips down and back. Ideally until the hips are below the knee. Stand it up, squeeze the butt. Thinking about knees in line with the feet at the bottom. Chest is up tall. Get a few more of those. We got quite a few air squats in yesterday, so the legs may be a little tight from that, depending on what you're used to. Okay, and then we'll do one more round here. So starting to increase the range, getting a little bit of rotation on the hip now. Lift the knee, bring that hip out to the side, and then bring it back. You know, maybe 10 cycles of that. Just moving, right? If you find that one of these warm-up movements, you know, feels like you need more of it, right? If you're feeling a little tight, a little stiff in one of those, then just hang out in it a little bit longer. Do some more reps in that particular movement. And maybe a little late to save, you can always hop on a machine if you've got one, rower, bike, ski erg, whatever. Okay, from there we're gonna go with a staggered stance. Good morning. Gonna line up the toes of one foot with the heel of the other. And then same idea, sending the hips back. You're looking for the tension in the front leg here, almost straightening it out as that back knee bends. We kind of sit back. Same idea, squeezing the butt at the top. Looking for 10 or so of those before we switch sides. Okay, I'll switch it up. Same idea, finding that tension on the front leg. Push the hips forward at the top, squeeze the butt. Get a few more good mornings. And then we'll get her onto our single leg deadlifts. Single leg hinges. Just basically the same as this, but single leg. All right, so from there, standing on one foot, you're gonna send the other leg back as far as you feel comfortable, right? If you can take it to hands to the floor, awesome. If not, not a big deal. Just trying to stay on that standing foot, get a little bit of balance in there as well as we warm up the posterior chain there on the standing leg. Get a few more and then we'll switch sides. It's feeling that for sure. Good morning, Shirley. Good morning, Chelly. Join us for a workout today. Change it up a little bit. Shirley, Chelly, we've got ring supports, but you don't need rings for it. You could do them on the floor, on some books or some dumbbells. Sandbag Cleans. If you don't have a sandbag, that's okay. You could use a dumbbell or a barbell. And then we've got a clean and jerk complex at the end. So even if you've never done this stuff, there are modifications and scaling options for everybody. So come give it a try. From there, we're gonna come into a plank and into our Spider-Man lunge. Just starting to open up the hips a little bit more. You may find hamstring tension. You may find glute tension here. You may find hip flexor on the other leg. You can go back and forth with that front knee. You can go side to side. Just starting to open up those corners. Loosen things up. So consider giving this a try, especially if you're exercising, and this is new to you. Maybe you do burpees, maybe you do some pull-ups or something. But if you haven't had exposure to Olympic weightlifting or gymnastics, sandbags, come on over, give it a try, change it up, because that variance of functional movements at intensity is going to give you better results than doing, just body weight work or just a certain movement. Even if you're doing tons of volume of it, you're missing out on components of fitness. Yeah, one more per side here. Right, if your goal is fitness, you want to be as well-rounded as possible, which means well-balanced in 10 general physical skills, is a good example, including, strength, flexibility. It's been a while since I've gone over these. Cardiorespiratory endurance, power, speed, stamina, agility, accuracy, balance, coordination, right? If you're not changing up what you're doing, then you're probably missing some components You want to make sure that you're as well-rounded as possible for life. Okay, one more. I'm not sure what side I started on here, but I like those. Megan says, my body is tired today. That's okay. Mine too. That's why we're waking it up. Turning it up now so that we're good to go. All right, from there, we're going to come into just some extension and some shoulder, well, torso and shoulder extension. So from laying down flat on the floor, arms overhead, you're just going to lift the arms from the shoulder as high as you can with a straight arm. You'll get at least 10 there. You can hold the top, especially if that's uncomfortable. And we are almost ready to start setting up for our EMOM. Okay, last set of air squats, and then we're off. So once again, hips down and back, ideally till the hips are below the level of the knees, keeping the knees in line with the feet, trying to keep the torso tall. That's why the arms go out in front as a counterbalance. Get a few more there. All right, that's feeling pretty good. So let's talk about our EMOM here. Talk about some options for each one. Okay. So 2 movements, back and forth every minute on the minute today. Normal format for us, but 1 new movement and 1 that we've already done before a few times. So support hold. I'm going to do these on the rings, but if you don't have rings, that is fine. I'm going to give you options for no equipment if necessary, up to whatever you got. So let me just explain kind of what we're doing first, and then we'll talk options. May even bring this a little bit closer so you can see. All right. So for the ring support, what we're looking for is a straight arm, right? Whether you're on the rings or the other things that I'm going to suggest, the other options that I'm going to go over here in a second, I want straight arms. Ideally, especially if I'm on the rings, I want elbow pits forwards, palms forwards. We're talking virtuosity here, right? Doing the common uncommonly well. Most people don't take that super seriously, but I do. So when I'm up there, I want my elbow pits pointing forward. And this is the idea. I'm just squeezing the abs, squeezing the butt, squeezing the legs, and pressing up on the rings. And we're just holding. So if you have a set of rings, that's the goal. As the EMOM, you might be doing 10 seconds on the minute of that, maybe 20, whatever you think is realistic that you can maintain for 5 sets, alternating with the sandbag. So if you don't have rings, however, one option is to set up 2 chairs, put your hands on the chairs, put your body in between the chairs, and hold there. You could do that with tables as well. If you don't have chairs, kind of sounds strange. I guess everybody's got chairs, but whatever. If you don't have chairs, an option would be right on the floor. So the first option, you just keep your feet on the ground and just pushing up off the ground. So I'm just lifting my hips off the floor. If that's too easy, which it's probably not going to be, right? Especially if you hold that for 20, 30 seconds. What you could do is take your feet off the ground as well and hold an L sit. But that's like a whole nother level. If getting off the floor just in this position is challenging, set up some books, right? You can put a book on either side and that'll just make it easier to get off the ground. Or, a couple dumbbells, put one hand on each dumbbell, press up. Or if you had something like some bumper plates, you could stack one of those on either side of you and just press up. So the goal there is to hold for a consistent amount of time through the 5 rounds that we're going to do of each one of these movements. And once again, as we're going through here, if you don't know which option is appropriate for you, you don't know, hey, I don't know how to do it with the gear that I have, just comment and I will give you an option that'll work. Movement number 2 is going to be our sandbag clean. And this, if you don't have a sandbag, that's okay as well. You could, if you happen to have a medicine ball, or what do you got there? A sock? Or even a dumbbell, right? Kind of worst case scenario is you take a dumbbell from the ground and clean it to the shoulder. But if you have something that you can grab onto, even like a backpack full of books or something heavy that is not a barbell. And I mean, really, you could do barbell cleans if you wanted to. If you've got a barbell and you don't have a sandbag and you want to make this heavy enough, you could do a barbell clean. But I'm gonna go with the sandbag. Probably gonna aim for 5 or 6 touch and go reps, just because I'm not allowed to dump the sandbag here for fear of waking up my family. And we'll go over a little bit of sandbag technique here. So what I want to do is get my hands underneath the sandbag, so I'll rock it back and forth a little bit. And then I'm gonna do a straight arm deadlift. So I'm just gonna stand it up to the hips and then basically wrap myself around it in up like a partial squat. And then from there, I wanna get as close to the hips as I can so that I can drive it up to the shoulder with the hips. I'm personally gonna come back down and go touch and go, and then drive it back up. This is probably something that you won't hear everywhere, but I'm gonna alternate shoulders on that. I am pretty anal about that stuff and not getting too imbalanced, and you'll see most people, especially in the competition world, people will do the sandbag the same shoulder every time. They'll hop back their burpees the same leg every time. Don't do that, right? Switch it up. Try to be even on what you're doing, or even emphasizing the side that you're bad at and doing more work there. So take a minute, get your gear set up. If you've got questions as to what options you should use, just let me know in the chat. And then we're gonna get started in a minute here. I don't have much to set up, so I'll just, I'll give you a sec to set up your gear, ask any questions you've got, and then we're gonna get moving. So once again, every minute on the minute, I'm probably gonna do, 15 to 20 seconds on the support hold, and then maybe 5 or 6 cleans. But just, if you haven't done this before, just choose an amount of amount of work that's gonna be challenging, but maintainable for those 5 sets each, right? So we're gonna get, we're going support hold, cleans, support hold, cleans, support hold, cleans, support hold, cleans, support hold, cleans. 5 rounds, 10 minutes, alternating minutes. Give me any questions you got. If you don't have any questions, make sure you've hit the like button. Make sure you've, thought about sharing this. One moment. All right, Jabes, good morning. How you doing? We're both wearing black shorts. Amazing. It's Black Shorts Friday. Black Friday? All right. Thank you for hitting the reactions. That was a good choice. All right, so let's do this. Okay. Oh, look at that. So I've got it written the opposite way here. Let's do that. We're going to go cleans first and then support hold. I kind of like that idea. Get the intensity out of the way. Okay, so let's get some tunes here. Jody, I'm wearing black. There you go, Black Friday crew. Thanks, Jody. I'm sure Jabes will appreciate that. All right, I think we're good. All right, team. So, sandbag cleans first. Support hold second, 5 sets, 10 minutes. Let's do it. 10 seconds. 3, 2, 1. Go ahead. There's 5. And my shirt is on. James goes, hi Jason. I like it. Alright. First round of cleans down. If your sandbag isn't super challenging, feel free to do some more reps than me. But I find that pretty devastating, so 5 is good. Alright, coming up to support hold, 10 seconds. This is your test, see what you want to do. 5, remember you can do this on the floor, on some chairs. 2, 1, go ahead. Trying to point the palms and elbow pits forward. Maple, you're not helping this. Pressing hard in the rings, that's 10. Rings or whatever you're using. 15. That's 20. Probably where I'm going to try to start. That's round 1. You can hold for longer if you feel it. Buddha, good morning. Jabe's still in background. Buddha, join us. Don't hang out in the background. Change it up. There's more to life than burpees. 15 seconds. 10 seconds. I feel like 3, 2, 1. Sheesh. Thought about doing 6 there, but I didn't. All right, back to the rings or books, chairs, whatever you got for your support. Whew. That sandbag gets me. 10 seconds. 5, 3, 2, 1. Go ahead. Whoops. Swinging. Remember, you're focusing on pressing, breathing, and if you're on the rings, turning the palms out. It's 15, 20. Ooh. Yeah. That was already harder than the first round. Let's go, team. Megan's wearing black too. Fashion show today. Harken. How do you keep from straining your spinal erecti and the muscles in the mid to lower back? You strengthen them. You work progressively. You don't go all out day one. You work up to it. You start light and you increase as you go. 3, 2, 1. Hang around, chat. We'll talk about it more if you want afterwards. 1. 2. Harkin, tell me about it. What are you doing right now? What's your workout? What are your concerns? Hang out, I'll answer your questions. 20 seconds. Why would you walk? Would you walk by your sandbag during the day, pick it up? Or do you have to have a warm-up protocol? Good question. Good question. 10 seconds. Let me breathe and we'll talk about that. 3, 2, 1, go ahead. So Harkin, the way I look at it is, ideally, I should be able to do most things without a warm-up, right? I want to be able to, so if you don't know, I live on a farm, and it's a pretty physical life, and you never really know what kind of tasks, it's 20, what kind of physical tasks are going to come up. So yes, I need to be able to, without any warm-up, go and hit some pretty heavy physical stuff. So yes, I always want to be prepared for that. At the same time, I mean, sometimes you're cold and it's not going to feel perfect. And if you can get a warm-up, that's going to be ideal. But yeah, there are going to be some times when it's not accessible and you have to do it. So the more prepared you can be just by being varied in what you do, 3, 2, 1, is going to create that capacity. Hang out. We'll keep chatting. Go ahead. I mean, when I wake up at 4:30, do I want to come pick this up first thing without a warm-up? Probably not, but do I want to be able to? Absolutely. I want to work, for ideal conditions, but know that it's not always going to be the case, and that I do want to be prepared for anything. 3, 2, 1. Breathe. Harkin, what kind of training do you do, man? Hang out. Join us. 15. 20. One more of each, team. Thank you for the tips. I'm doing barbell cleans. Want to expand on the sandbag for functional strength. Harkin, we got a barbell clean and jerk complex after this. We've got 2 more minutes of this, and then we've got 7 rounds of a power clean, hang clean, front squat, jerk complex. Hang out, let's do it together. Ready, last set of cleans. 3, 2, 1. Hopefully your dog doesn't make these harder. One more support hold. 20 seconds. And then we'll play with the barbell. 10 seconds, or dumbbells if you don't have a barbell, no worries. 5. Last support. 3, 2, 1. No, maple. Stole a boot again. It's 10. 20. 5. That's 30. Oh, keep it up if you're going longer than 30. Impressive if you are. Oh. Excellent work. Another 10 if you're still hanging on. 3, 2, 1. Excellent. Excellent. All right. So take a minute and breathe, walk around, catch your breath. If you need to tidy up your sandbag or anything, make some space for barbell if you have it, or dumbbell if you want. I wanted to ask you about breathing. I've always exhaled on the press, but I now hear you're supposed to hold your breath. What do? Yeah, there's a lot of nuance there, and it depends on what you're doing. But anytime you're trying to create tension, right? If you're trying to do something heavy, especially like a short effort, yeah, holding the breath, creating tension through the intra-abdominal system is going to create a little more tension and therefore transfer your strength better. But as you see, like when you're doing a set and you have to be able to breathe, you don't want to just hold your breath the whole time. So I like to think get tight and hold the breath for the eccentric or concentric, explosive, hardest part of the movement. So for the sandbag clean, like I'm gonna hold my breath during the drive, probably take a breath at the top, hold it while I go down and do the work, and try to breathe in kind of the most relaxed, least taxed position, if that makes sense. Surely functional strength is what Adam is all about. Yes, as we all should be. All right, so let's talk about the next piece here. So we're gonna get the barbell out here now if you got one. If you don't have a barbell, this can all be done with the dumbbell. So let's talk about this. Just got to do the old hat flip so that the jerk doesn't hit myself and don't hit myself in the hat when we go overhead. So let's talk basics. Let's talk beginner version of this. So if you've got a broomstick, then you're good enough to go with this, right? You don't need anything crazy to be able to learn these movements. A broomstick is great, or PVC. I'm gonna use my daughter's 5-pound barbell here to demo. Just make sure she's not having her boot eaten. So I'll go over the complex and then we'll talk a little bit of technique. So you want to grab that barbell outside the thighs. If you're new to this, you should be able to basically touch the thighs with your thumbs. And then we like a hook grip, thumb around, fingers around the thumbs to start. So today's complex is going to be a power clean. So you're taking the bar from the ground, catching it on the front rack without a squat, back down to the hang. We're going to go hang, squat clean or hang clean to the knee, get vertical, drive and drop into your squat. You're gonna keep the bar on the shoulder for a second front squat, and then we're gonna go overhead with the jerk, tip drive, drop, and stand. So 4 reps from the floor, power clean, hang clean into a squat, front squat, and jerk. Let me show you what this looks like with a dumbbell. And then we'll take a couple minutes to talk technique, warm it up. Let's go with a little heavier dumbbell. So what I'm gonna suggest is if you've got a dumbbell, for that 90-second window that we're gonna be working, do 1 complex per side. So from the floor, the dumbbell's gonna start between the legs on this one. Power clean, hang clean, front squat, and jerk. And then I would just switch hands, do it again. Power clean, hang clean, front squat, and jerk. Okay? So let's talk a little bit of technique here with the barbell while we start warming this up. And if you're new to this, don't be scared. This is important technique for producing power, control, balance, accuracy, agility, flexibility, speed. Unparalleled, right? The weightlifting is unparalleled in their ability to produce fitness. Okay. So Talking about the first movement, setup position. My weight is pretty balanced, maybe a little bit in the forefoot, bars against the body, and I'm pushing away from the ground until I cross the knees. So that first step is just press away, trying to keep the torso angle the same. Once you cross the knees, starting to pull the chest up. Once you're about mid-thigh, you're gonna think jump. Once you jump, pull yourself back under, receive the bar on the shoulders as opposed to in the hands, and then stand it up. That's your power clean. Come down to the hang. Slide the bar down the thighs, right? Notice I'm getting the shoulders out in front of the bar as opposed to behind. So shoulders in front, just like when we cross the knee. From there, same thing. I'm starting to get vertical by pushing the knees forward. Once I'm at about mid-thigh, I'm gonna jump and catch. But this one's in a squat that I'm receiving. The second squat is simple. Keep the elbows high. Send the hips back and down. And then for the jerk, get a little more hand on the bar. Short little dip. You wanna drive fully, squeezing the legs. And then once that happens, you're gonna push yourself under the bar, receiving it with locked out elbows before you stand it back up. So why don't we go through that one more time, and then you can take some time to put some weight on there if you want. So that setup position, knees are slightly in front of the bar, shoulders are out in front of the bar a little bit. Press away from the floor with the legs till you cross the knees, get vertical, jump catch, stand it up. It doesn't need to be choppy like that, obviously. Then back to the hang for the hang clean, to the knee with the shoulders out in front, slide back up the thighs, get vertical, jump catch, stand it up, second squat, and then your jerk, right? So straight down the dip, drive hard, press under, and stand. Okay, if you've got questions about that, put them in the chat. I'll answer that either as we're warming up or between sets. We're gonna go one set of that every 90 seconds. I lack the shoulder flexibility to rack the bar like that. I'm working on it, but I can't get my elbows up yet. So hearken in the front rack, especially for the squat, let it roll into a couple fingers. Don't worry about having a whole grip on it, because you want elbows high in the squat. And if you take your fingers off of it, it's a little bit easier. But then for the jerk, bring the elbow down, get a little more grip on it. I don't know if that helps. And then really just like spend some time opening up the wrists, you know, get them into at least a 90-degree and start working for more. But even just spending time in that front rack position will help. Right, let the fingers come back off of it and just spend some time there. You can call it barbell yoga. But, you know, think about it this way. Our tissues, they're able to withstand a lot of force, right? So my front rack, like these muscles are pretty tight. They can withstand a lot. If I don't force them a little bit, they're never going to adapt to that position. So that's why I call it kind of barbell yoga. It's not just being fully gentle with you, letting the weight bring you into a better position. You know, as long as you're conscious of where you're going with that, you can use it to help you be in a better spot. All right, so power clean, hang clean, front squat, jerk. How heavy do we want to go on this? Give me another 2 minutes here. One more warm-up set. One more weight change, and then we're going. Let me know what weights you guys are thinking. Jody, Jason, Megan, you doing this? Where are you thinking about starting? Tell me. And Harkin, what kind of weights do you lift? What would you do for something like this? Jabes, no shirt, no shoes, black shorts. We're both in shape. We both have a shape. That is true. Jabes, you working out with us? Come on, buddy. We're getting there. I'm sure this is pretty entertaining to watch, so hopefully you guys are warming up, trying out some new weights, working on your technique. One thing you can think about here is film yourself, right? What does your technique look like? Does it look like what you think it looks like? And if you film, ideal situation here is that you film everyone and in between sets you watch it. So you can make adjustments as you go, assess, am I hitting the positions that I want to be hitting, or that at least I think I can? Because if you never watch it, obviously the advantage of being at a gym, being at an affiliate with a coach, is they can watch you and give you feedback in real time and make those adjustments. I was actually having this conversation with a client of mine on Wednesday because he was doing some power cleans and starting to catch them forward, and I was yelling at him. And I got out in front of him at one point and I was like, "You're not listening to me." And it's pretty funny actually. Our head coach was there, and afterwards he was like, "What were you yelling at him?" Because I'm a little bit more aggressive sometimes than other coaches, because I hold you to a standard that is pretty high. And it was funny, I asked him afterwards, "Hey, are you okay with that? Are you okay with me kind of yelling at you if you're not listening?" And he was like, "Absolutely. I get into a place when I'm working out where I don't really hear you. I'm really focused on what I'm doing and I'm working hard or whatever. So yeah, snap me out of it, because if I keep doing it wrong, I'm learning it wrong." So obviously you don't have a coach here with you. I'm here, but I can't see you. So if you can film yourself and then watch it as you're going, you're gonna see more improvement. All right, so let's just see before we start. Jody, 65, Jason, 115. Jabes, we're not wearing shirts. Adam, you are very observant. Jason, ouch. Congratulations, Jabes. I would like to. Let's go, Jabes. Today I just did 25s on each side for clean and jerk. My snatch is only 65. Don't say only. Been doing it for maybe a month, but I love it. Amazing. Amazing. Jeremy, good morning. At one point I could bench 405. Dang it. That gave me shoulder, shoulder impingement. Now I do pull-ups and correcting. Awesome. All right, Jeremy, we're just about to use the barbell here. You missed the rings, but just about to start our 7 sets of power clean, hang clean, front squat, jerk. We're gonna go 1 set every 90 seconds. Our favorite format, 7 sets, 1 every 90. Power clean, hang clean, front squat, jerk today. Let's do it. Get a little bit of music on here, and we'll get going. You can increase the load between sets if you want, but once again, if you can film yourself, you're gonna get a lot of benefit from watching that. Let's do it. 10 seconds. I ain't even playing, got a really bad habit. If it moves, gotta grab it. Fuse like a magnet. Moves won't have it. 3, 2, 1. Go ahead. If you work 8 hours, I'ma work 9. If it tastes sour, you should taste mine. I'ma stay in power for a long time. Get up, nah, I ain't a quitter. Toss me the ball, I'm a really big hitter. Big picture, I'm a straight killer. Rising the song to the highest bidder. Got juice, got gas, I'm a that felt pretty good. We'll go up incrementally. Nothing crazy. A lot of clean and jerks Wednesday, or cleans at least. Cleans and front squats. Trying to find the right amount for today. 1 down, 6 to go. I'm here working with you all. Yes, Talia. What weight you got on there, Talia? Jeremy, got to rewatch. Yeah, you should give it a go. Do you have a sandbag, Jeremy? Stop it. 20 seconds. Oh, dogs. Jody, how are your dogs doing? They challenging you right now? Maple, don't lick the chalk. All right. 5. Second set. 3, 2, 1. Two down. I'm talking about, you should film your reps. I've got the advantage of I can go watch this afterwards. So do it. Film your reps. See what you look like. If you want, tag me on Instagram with that video, and I'd be happy to give you. Whoa. Did I just? I'm gonna have to go back there. I think I just did more weight on one side than the other. How did I not notice that? Okay, all right. Obviously, a little bit distracted here. Jody says annoying each other. That's good. Better to annoy each other than annoy you. Did heavy clean complex last night. Nice, Jason. There you go. So we're in this similar boat. Mine was Wednesday. Yours was yesterday. 10 seconds. Maple, stop. Round 3. Damn, as if I had 10 on one side and 5 on the other. 3, 2, 1. Go ahead, Maple, stop it. I'm a straight killer, rising the song to the highest bidder. Got juice, got gas, I'ma move fast. New shoes, new tracks, like who's that? I'm new, come back better than last. 3 down. I know how heavy you want to go here. Never gonna look back. 4 more sets. And that's fact. Only I can make a change. Slowly take a step today. I will never be the same. Can always stay the same for the last few. Go, Maple. Excuse me, dog. Dropping balls in front of my bar. Cuckoos, yeah. Well, Maple's standing here licking my bar, so challenging. Thanks, dog. Coach Carl, good morning. Just finishing up our opportunity work here with the barbell complex. Coach Carl, you ever train with a barbell? Did any weightlifting? I mean Olympic weightlifting, clean and jerk, snatch. 5, 3, 2, 1. Four down, 3 to go. Maple. Jason, morning versus night. This morning, maybe 135. Last night, 175. Yeah, it's different. I mean, the more you push in the morning, the more you're gonna get used to pushing in the morning, but yeah, it's gonna be a different feel. I'm okay with that. As long as you're working hard, like the numbers are irrelevant. I think. If you're improving your technique, if you're getting stronger and fitter, who cares what the numbers are? Let's go. And obviously I wouldn't compare my morning numbers to my evening numbers. I would say as long as your morning numbers are improving, then that's gold. All right, 3 more sets, 10 seconds. Maple, no. Should I have the same weight on both sides? Okay. Go ahead. Maple, no. Oh, shoot. Wow. 5 down. 2 to go. I don't think I'm going to go up from there. The last couple there, I guess. Jason. Plus, I got new shoes, so I'm faster. Shoes? What are those? What are they for? Tasharia, good morning. Tasharia, you got to be getting pretty close to joining us on these workouts now. I know you've been doing the warm-ups. Soon, transition with us. Indeed, 95 with morning weight. There you go, that's it. I thought about going to 175 here, but that set was pretty hard and I don't want to drop this barbell. All right, 10 seconds. Second last set. Go ahead. Maybe I will do last set there. 1 more to go, team. It's a yummy bar, eh, Maple? Last set coming up. Hey, Harkin, you're feeling it, man. You're reading my book right now. I used to be all about that stuff. Knee sleeves, weightlifting shoes, wrist wraps. And then I thought about it and it's like, wait a minute. What am I training for? If I'm training for real life, and now more specifically farm life, I'm not gonna have weightlifting shoes and a belt, knee sleeves. I gotta be ready for life. So, I don't wear any gear ever anymore. All right, last set. I'm gonna take an extra second here, make sure I don't blow it. Okay. Let's finish strong, team. Make sure you're filming yourself if you're not. No, just go away for a minute. Got it. Hey, you didn't help. You didn't help. Oh yeah. All right. Take a sec, breathe. Great job. Great job. If you joined us there, let me know in the chat. How did it feel? How'd it go? Chris, good morning. Raw, baby, you got it. Raw is the only way. Actually, funny that you say that. I was butchering the deer yesterday a little bit, and I had the whole family pull off a piece and try it raw. So good. So good. I've got a little video of that actually later. Trav, Liam, talk to me. Welcome. Is this your first time here? What kind of training do you? Tell me about it. Tell me about it. What are your goals? What do you train? What are you working for? Have you ever tried CrossFit? Or, functional movements executed high intensity with variance? Join us. Join us. All right, another minute here. And we'll do a little cool down. We'll watch a little bit of, I got a little clip, well, 2 clips of what should not be happening on the farm right now, but it is. And Yeah, a little bit of raw deer meat eating as well, if you care for that. We're almost there. It's probably the most entertaining part of the video for you guys, watching me set up and take down weights. Someday I'll have a, I don't know, a weight tree or something to make this easier. 25. Almost there. Never gonna look back. Swear I was built to last. Maple go. All right. Let us cool down here a little bit. Let's see. We did some support, some cleans. Let's go, we'll get into the glutes here a little bit. Let's go. Oh, you can't even see me there. Let's just go with the old cross the single leg. Trying to get into the bent leg side of the hip here, the glutes. If that's pretty easy, you can hinge over forwards. We're gonna hang out about a minute per side here. Just getting a stretch in the glutes on the bent hip side. Hey, great job everybody. That was a fantastic workout. I love those sandbags. Always challenging. And the support holds, good to get those in every once in a while, because I think that's one of those neglected kind of pieces that, you know, isn't sexy. It's not a ring dip, it's not a muscle up. It's just a boring support hold, but lots of value, especially if you take that turnout seriously and the virtuosity of the movement and all of your movements, right? Always working to improve the quality of your movement so that you're more efficient, less injury prone, all those things. Jody. Oh. Vicky, have a great day. You too. Did you do the workout, Vicky? Or is it still too cold in your garage right now? Jason, outstanding workout, good programming. Thanks, man. Nice, deer hunter, yeah, hang out for that. I like that complex. Also did barefoot. Gloves, though. Don't want crazy callous hands. How come? You're not are you a massage therapist or something, Jody? I'm just messing with you. I'm just messing with you. Here, I don't want ever to have soft hands because there are so many things that I have to do that if my hands were soft, they would probably tear. So, gotta keep working calluses, at least for me. Buddha, great live. Buddha, did you join us for some of that? Oh, let me get that clock turning a little bit. Where is it? Let's switch sides on that. And I'll show you a couple videos here. So straighten the other leg out and then go ahead and just, oh, my quads are sore. Cross the other leg over. This is what I'm doing here. And once again, if you need more, hinge forward, get a little more stretch. Talia says, I was using my 10-kilo medicine ball. Nice. I'm going to watch again and repeat. Whoa. I was helping my elderly neighbor this morning food shopping. It was amazing. Thank you. Awesome. Awesome. So Talia, you did the first half and you'll do the cleans afterwards, or? I like it. Crooked, good morning, Meredith. How you doing? Yeah, Maple says good morning as well. Eh? You say good morning? Not really. Okay, so let's while we finish this stretch, maybe we'll watch our videos here. Oh, that's not the right one. That was from yesterday. Let me pull up the correct one here. All right, we'll start with, well, why don't we, here. We'll start with the meat. So as you can see, that's the deer that I was butchering. That's the back strap that I was cutting off. And that's just a little hunk of fresh, beautiful backstrap deer meat. Just look at the freaking color of that stuff. Look at that. Oh, nature. Isn't that beautiful? Oh, you don't even know how good that is. You put a little bit of salt on one of those things and it is something else. My older daughter just kept coming out and saying, can I have another piece? Can I have another piece? Incredible stuff. Nature. We screw food up, man. Nature definitely knows what it's doing. All right, here's some more silliness. This is, oh, whoops. If you were here yesterday, you know that we had a little bit of a wreck here, and the Meredith, yes, that was raw deer meat that I was eating. But yeah, we had a wreck here the other day. The boys ended up getting in with the girls basically, and it's a little earlier than we wanted, and not necessarily the right rams that we wanted in there. But so be it. And this is kind of where we're at. So you can see that guy in the middle. Oh, there's one chasing them around. I think the next video is better, but you can see the boys are doing their little game where they chase the girls around and lift their lips up and sniff around and do all kinds of funny stuff. There you go, and they do that. There you can see the boys chasing the girls. Terrible. Terrible. I honestly didn't want to take any. I was filming the videos and I could barely look at it, and I do not like watching this. There's another boy. Look, there's another one. You can see them chasing him around. Look at you jerks. I mean, they're not jerks, right? This is what they're made for. This is their nature. But they weren't supposed to be together yet. So, and not only not together yet, but some of those rams were not supposed to be in there. Definitely that one was not supposed to be in there. So we're going to end up with lambs at the wrong time of year, and who knows what kind of lambs. So we're learning, but that was not the ideal situation. So, okay. All right. So let's just, hey, get off of there. Let's chat a little bit here before we run off. An hour 7. We've been rolling here for a bit. So Talia says, love your caveman vibes. Braver than I. So I want to talk about that just for a sec, because I was thinking about this yesterday and how, some people would look at that eating of raw meat and be concerned, right? And feel free to post your comments here, right? Why would that make you nervous? And I'm not judging you here, right? I'm just going to talk about a couple interesting things. But the idea that we have that eating something raw like that is dangerous comes from large processing plants, right? Really, all of the issues that come up in food and in agriculture and all that is because of the humans, right? Is because of the how, as I'll say, not the cow, right? So I'll use the example of, we've talked about Joel Salatin here a few times before, and Meredith, you obviously know who we're talking about. And, so Joel Salatin is, one of the godfathers of regenerative ag, direct-to-consumer regenerative ag sales. And they've done studies, right? They've done tons and tons of research and studies on their food to show, so because consumers want proof, right? So basically what they would do is they would test their chicken, as a good example, for how much salmonella or whatever other, I don't know what other kinds of bacteria you end up with chicken, but they compared theirs to a store-bought chicken. So they bought in some store-bought chicken, tested that, and then tested theirs. And I'm gonna get the numbers wrong and the types of pathogens or whatever wrong, but the store-bought chicken had something like 1,000 or 5,000 times the amount of, we'll just call it salmonella for the lack of me knowing exactly what it was. And most people would say, well, that's crazy, the standards at these places must be so high. How can they get away with that? Well, they're not, right? The standards are not high. And what ends up happening is because they know the standards are so bad and there's so much moisture in those places and so much room for breeding bacteria, is they bleach all your food, right? The chicken that comes out of a big processing plant has been bleached to kill that bacteria. Whereas, someone like Joel, or like when we do our birds here, they're never sitting around in an infected environment with moisture everywhere, right? Like our chickens get processed, they get cleaned, dried, and bagged right away. And I guarantee you there is far less harmful bacteria on our chickens than anything you're gonna buy in the store. Also understand that most salmonella comes from produce and not from meat, right? It generally comes from moist environments and being allowed to sit, right? So a head of lettuce that will hold moisture in it really well is going to be a far higher risk of salmonella than a piece of meat. And on that note, that meat I was eating never went to a processing plant. That was the first knife it had in it was 10 minutes before I ate that piece of meat. You know, there's the chance of anything being wrong with that is almost nil compared to something that you're going to buy from the store. So Talia says, no, raw is fine. I'm just a lover of animals. I was brought up as a vegetarian from my mama, but because my dad's Irish, lots of meat, just very conflicting. I wish I was brave to pick from the deer. Well, Talia, you know I'm into talking about this a lot, right? The vegetarian argument doesn't stand up from any angle. You know, if your angle is morality, which it kind of sounds like, what you need to take into account is all of the death that happens to produce plant foods, right? Through tillage and spraying, which is killing all the microorganisms under the ground. And I know we get caught up in this, right? A microorganism is ugly, a deer is cute, I get it. But without the microorganisms, there are no deer. So we have to think about that and the fact that, like, I'm eating a deer. We're killing one animal and eating it, as opposed to that practice of planting crops and harvesting them and whatever, which is killing trillions and trillions and trillions of organisms on the ground, in the ground, above the ground. So, and also, I mean, the way that we are raising animals and the way that the wild animals are living is positive for the ground versus what we do, which is extremely destructive and extractive to our land, to our planet. So, you know, if you can source your meat from someone who cares, or eat wildlife, your impact on the planet is, I would say, positive versus, eating plant-based foods that are, most of the time raised in a way that are way worse for the ground and the planet than any animal agriculture could be. So hopefully, we can start thinking about reframing that, because it's true, right? We've been told a lie, the eat more plants, save the planet, global warming garbage is a lie. It's just propaganda. It is a political, financial thing that, to be honest, I mean, aside from money, I don't understand the goals, but it is not going to lead to human health, planet health, anything. So when people say, hey, go more plant-based, like, that's not the way. It is absolutely not the way to have a positive impact on your health or on the planet. That is a lie. I need to man up. Your theory is right. I'm a lover, not a fighter, lol. I think what you say is right, Adam. I appreciate you. Talia, I appreciate your open-mindedness because, there's a lot of information out there and it's very easy to get stuck in an ideal. My wife and I wasn't necessarily into it as much, but like she's trained as a naturopathic doctor and that's what she does. And she had been taught, like, hey, we should, maybe go at least a day a week where we go plant-based. Like, she was fully convinced of that. And she's a smart person, educated by smart people in a naturopathic setting, right? In a natural setting, but they have not been taught anything about agriculture, right? They have no idea. They're just told the same narrative that this is better for the planet or it's more, they're nutrient, but it's not more nutrient dense. There's no such thing as an essential carbohydrate, and the practices for creating those things are not what you think they are. It's funny, people drive by our area and they look out into the farm fields and they think it's so pretty because it's so consistent. It's exactly the same. I look at that and I think it's the opposite. I think it's death. It is literally poisoning our ground, right? There should never be a field of all one thing. And in order to do that, do you know what they have to do to the planet? It's a mess. So I'm done ranting about that. Just know that, let's see, Jason. Let's see what kind of conspiracy we got. If you want to know what's changing the climate, look up. Sun and solar cycles and strength of magnetic field play a huge role, not exposed to the public. Yeah, I mean, it's all cyclical, right? We are part of a bigger system that we have very little impact on. Also understanding that, like, you know, once we deplete our soils and kill ourselves off because there's no way to raise food, like, the earth will be fine. It will come back, get rid of us, and be all right. So, yeah, don't get caught up in the climate change narrative. That's silly political business. Okay, so on that note, we're running a little late here. Remember, if you've got goals, if you've got things you want to achieve in your life, all there is to it, I mean, like, example is I became a farmer 4 years ago. I decided that this is what we're going to do, and I started taking the steps and made my way to it. Just like starting the gym, just like whatever I've done in my life that is important, just like what we're doing right here. So if you've got some dream, some goal, even if you think it's crazy and like, oh, that's you know, what I wanted to do when I was a child, unrealistic, it's not. It's not if you do the daily action. If you break it down to the step that you can accumulate every day, it's going to build up to that thing, that dream, that life that you aim for. So I'm going to say it every day because it's super important. I think a lot of us kind of skip this step and we think, well, things are pretty good, I'm pretty happy, but is there more, right? Is there more that you're meant for, that you're supposed to be here for? And if so, I mean, not if so, we all are. So take that step, do it every day. Meredith says, being healthy is my goal. So say that's the goal. I mean, I would use more specific, measurable, more SMART goals, right? Give it a time, give it an objective measurement, but that's a great step, right? So in order to reach that goal, I need to identify what is the piece that's missing. You know, say it's, I don't, and Crooked, here's a good way to approach this. So we use if you've read the book, The One Thing, it's called the focusing question. And you ask yourself, what one action or decision that by taking that decision or action today will make other decisions or actions easier or unnecessary moving forward. So assess your health and say, hey, is it, you know, if I could sleep better or eat better or stress less or exercise more or spend more time with people I love? Like, what is the one thing that's missing that if you put focus into that, it'll make the other ones easier or unnecessary? So if it's, I need to exercise more, but, you know, I'm not sleeping well, and as a result, I'm not sleeping well, I'm not exercising, and because I'm tired, I'm not eating well, and because I'm tired, I'm being short with my family. So, you know, the one thing is sleep, right? It's get to bed earlier, or develop a nighttime routine so that your sleep is better, or whatever. But it's identify the piece that by attacking that one piece, all the other pieces come together. Does that make sense? Hopefully it does. But it is very true that you don't have to do all the things. Do the one most important thing, and the other ones come together naturally, as long as you identify the most important thing correctly. Okay, enough about that. Hopefully you've all hit the like button today. We are switching it up tomorrow. So Jason, if you're not gone yet, tomorrow is going to be active recovery instead of Sunday. And then Sunday is going to be something very, very unpleasant. Because it is day 200 of the 5 a.m. Squat Club on Sunday. If you look back at day 100, you're going to be able to guess at what we're going to be doing on Sunday. It's just going to be worse. So, I love you guys. Tasharya, sleep is definitely my thing. Yeah. Well, I mean, I get it. I mean, it's probably the hardest one. We get caught up in this idea that there are more things that we have to do. And think about it this way. This is the way I kind of look at it is, you know, when you're in school, you forego sleep to cram sometimes. And what ends up happening is that quality of studying is never good, and you don't retain it because you're not, you know, processing it while you sleep. So I am always the type to, you know, understudy and not oversleep, but intentionally get that sleep so that, you know, you're retaining at least what you have studied versus cramming overnight and losing it all. Yeah, prioritizing sleep is huge, huge, huge. Megan says, I'll be on a plane Sunday. That's okay, Megan. It probably is not super good for your hip, that workout. Jody says, lol, sounds very inviting, coach. Yeah, but Jody, you know that we're the type of crazy that invite like crazy sound or unpleasant sounds inviting for real anyway. So mine too, to share you with eating healthy. So Talia, listen, likely one of those things makes the other one easier, right? So is it that if I'm better rested, I'm less tempted to eat junk food, or just because I feel, rested and energetic and alive that I don't make those choices? Or is it that eating the crappy food is affecting my sleep? So one of those likely will make the other one easier if you can identify which is the one that makes the most impact, if that makes sense. Okay, so once again, tomorrow we are going, what did I say? Active recovery. Jeez, my brain's not working. And one of those days this weekend, I'll do a vertical live stream. And I think the title is going to be "You're Doing Your Burpees Wrong." And I hope I don't offend too many people, but we're doing it. So active recovery tomorrow, and then maybe a vertical live either tomorrow or Sunday. But then Sunday is a fun day. Day 200. All right. So let's call her a day. Make sure you've hit the like button before you run away. And just remember that I love you guys and that I appreciate you being here for me, but also your bodies, your energy appreciates you being here, because we're just getting better every day. So have yourselves a fantastic Friday, team, and we'll see you tomorrow for active recovery. Peace.